Bogino. Our guest today is Iris Grimm. Iris is the owner of Balanced Physician. Iris coaches physicians on how to go from stress and burnout to wellness, leadership, and success. Iris is a native of East Germany, and after the Berlin Wall came down, she moved to West Germany, and in 1995, she came to the United States. The freedom that we have in this country to be our own boss and to choose work in a profession that we truly desire intrigued Iris, and in 2000 she started her own business. And for the past 6 years, Iris has been coaching physicians and physician leaders almost exclusively. She created the Balanced Physician Program, a coaching and training program designed to support physicians in their personal lives and to improve their effectiveness and performance in their practices. Iris, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Diane, for having me.
So, Iris, tell us, what is the Balanced Physician Program all about, and what is a balanced physician?
The Balanced Physician Program is a coaching and training program for physicians designed to support them in their personal life and to become effective leaders. Effective leaders for their patients, for their staff, in their families, and in the community. Now, when I started the Balanced Physician Program in 2003, I had the idea of creating a program that supports the work-life balance for physicians. And when I went to hospitals and to medical practices to promote the program, at that time I was told, we are not interested in work-life balance for physicians. However, I like the term balanced physician, so I thought, so how can I keep that term and turn it around? So I looked at it from a skill set. And I thought, in order to be a balanced physician, to be a successful physician, a physician needs to develop 3 skills. They have to have their clinical skills, which is what they learn in their medical school. They have to have the interpersonal skills, the ability to relate to other people and communicate effectively in the hospital, with their staff, and also with their patients. And they have to have self-management skills, the ability to manage themselves effectively in stressful situations. And when I did the research, I realized, well, physicians really only get trained in the clinical skills. The interpersonal skills and self-management skills, they are learning on the fly. However, truly successful and balanced physicians have a balanced skill set of all 3 skills. And so therefore, the Balanced Physician programs really focus on developing the interpersonal and self-management skills of physicians.
So what made you decide to come up with a program? I mean, had you had an experience with a doctor, or you heard a lot about no bedside manner kind of things?
No, it really just developed organically. I started the coaching business in 2000, and at that time I worked with many healthcare professionals, chiropractors, massage therapists, so it was more that holistic side of healthcare. And I come from a family of physicians and dentists in Germany, so I know some of the struggles that they are facing. And when I did the research here, I realized, I saw the statistics, and I saw and learned about the struggles that many physicians are going through here in this country, but there really was no support. And so therefore I decided, okay, let me do this program, Balanced Physician, that supports physicians in their work-life balance. I just realized at that time that I was way too early, because that message wasn't heard back then, or they didn't want to hear it back then. As I said, when I went to the hospitals, they said, no, we are really not interested in that. However, can you help with other areas, such as disruptive behavior or physician leadership? So that's where I had to rewrite my message and come out with the Balanced Physician model in regards to interpersonal and self-management skills, which is nothing else than emotional intelligence. But now things have really changed, and now you hear more and more hospitals wanting to hear programs on work-life balance, wanting to have something that prevents the burnout of physicians.
In this case, your clients taught you, which we as business people must listen to our clients, and
Right.
you did.
Yeah, I mean, we can come up with great programs, but if the clients don't want to hear this message or are not ready for it yet, we have to make an adjustment with our products and services in order to still provide good value.
What kind of a situation would a doctor find themselves in to cause them to call you?
Several situations. One is where, for example, it happens many times, a physician gets promoted into a leadership, in an official leadership position. That's when hospitals realize, well, they might be good clinicians, but many of them don't know what it's like to be a leader. So in that way, hospitals call me up and say, Iris, can you work with this physician on his or her leadership skills? Another one can be where a physician is experiencing a lot of stress and maybe even possibly is close to burnout, and it has an effect on their performance. And so in that way, I work with them on stress management, simplifying their life, ways to delegate more effectively, time management. Another one is, as I said, mentioned before, and this is how I started with this, was hospitals called me up when they had a physician who displayed disruptive behavior. Working with them on their emotional intelligence, how to stay calm when the situation around them is stressful, or when maybe people don't agree with the way they want to have things done. So these are typically the situations when physicians come to me. However, many times it's that either the hospital administrator or a practice manager or the managing partner of a practice says, physician, you need to have some coaching, or we recommend you. It happens very rarely that physicians take that proactive step themselves and call me and say, Iris, I need some coaching.
You also just started a new onboarding program, I
Mhm.
think. Tell me a little bit about that.
Again, that is also something that has evolved over a few years. I read in like 2005 or 2006 a study that was done that said that 54% of all physicians who are leaving a practice do so in the first 5 years. And they make that decision within the first 3 to 6 months of their employment, or when they are in a new practice. And I thought, wow, this is interesting. So they decide fairly early on that this is not really a match for them. However, maybe it's a cultural match that is not there. But many times, whatever we think we don't like, we can change or have an influence. So I always thought then, okay, what could be done to support those physicians within the first 3 to 6 months of their new employment or in their new practice, to make sure that they feel fully supported and heard, and see that they actually can solve whatever they are feeling dissatisfied with. And that is as far as I went. And then I met a physician recruiter a couple of years ago who said, Iris, I work a lot with hospitals and so on, and I thought about some onboarding and an onboarding program. So we came together, create an alliance like that, and have now this onboarding program, so that when a physician starts in a new practice or in a new hospital, within the first 6 to 9 months, they get coaching. And they get coaching on self-management, interpersonal skills, similar to what the Balanced Physician program is about. But that helps them, especially in that stressful time when they start a new employment or start a new job, that they feel fully supported and have all the tools necessary to be successful in their new environment.
You also talk about your training programs. Tell me a little bit about those.
Well, some physicians or hospitals are just not ready yet to bring in coaching programs. However, many times I go to hospitals or medical practices and give talks or workshops to their medical staff, whether it is on work-life balance, whether it is on leadership skills or communication skills, or whether it is just on stress control. So these are programs that I bring into hospitals, that I bring into medical practices, but I also speak at healthcare associations during their conferences.
Good. Iris, thank you so much for coming to see us today and taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you very much for having me, Diane.
Thank you for joining us on Business Notes. We've been listening to Iris Grimm with the Balanced Physician, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you next time on Business Notes.